In this video, we're going to look at transforming equations where the unknown is part of a compound term and also the term is not on its own. To make this work, what we're going to do is we're going to first of all get the term on its own, which will turn it into the type 1 problems, and then we're going to split that term up using the technique we learnt there. So on the first equation, to get the x term on its own, I'm going to need to move the b over to here. So I end up with px equals f minus g. So the b is changing side, so it's going to change sign. Oops, just sort that one out. Minus b. And then we need to split off the multiplying by p by dividing by p. So that's going to give us f minus g minus b all over capital P. And on this next equation, we've got that same problem again where our x term is negative. So we're going to move the x term to this side and the non-x term to the other. So we've got a minus 3g squared equals bx, and then we're going to split the b term off by dividing, or split the b off by dividing. So that's going to give us a minus 3g squared over b. Some trouble today. Equals x. But obviously we want the x first, so it's x equals a minus 3g squared over b. The next term, we've got a denominator. And one thing that I like to do is if there's a denominator there and it's not the unknown I'm after, and I'm after x in this case, I like to multiply through by those denominators because I think we end up with something that's simpler to deal with. And it doesn't matter where that denominator was. It could have been with the z or the 7, or in this case with the x term. So I'm going to multiply everything by a. So if I multiply the z by a, I get a z. If I multiply the minus 2x over a by a, well, it cancels out that divided by a, so I'm just left with minus 2x. And if I multiply the 7 by a, I get 7a. This isn't the only way to do this problem, it's just the way that I would suggest we do it. So the x term is negative, so I'm going to move it to the other side. So that means the 7a is coming to this side. So I get a z minus 7a equals 2x. I'm now going to split off the multiplying by 2 by dividing by 2. I'm going to put the x first, save a bit of time. So x equals a z minus 7a all over 2.